Wake up. This is your alarm clock. No, I know what you mean. You stopped here. Don't go anywhere because you are on a journey. I get it. And Lori here gets it. We are What a Shift Show. Welcome. This is our first one. We're going to explain what it is. Laura, take it away.
Hey, welcome. Welcome to the collective. If you're here, we're really grateful to have you here. You're here for a reason. You stumbled across us because, I don't know, you Googled something or a friend was like, oh my God, listen to this. And, you might have noticed that the world is a bit of a mess. And also on the plus side, that lots of people start to be they're starting to wake up. And
They
that might
are
mean,
totally.
yeah, and that might mean something different for everyone.
So let
Um,
me explain first that because I should have done that at the very beginning. My name is Judy Diamond. I am in broadcast media. I work for iHeart and I do a lot of podcasting. And Laura Pascal Brown, she's got the hyphen name and everything, who's way cooler than I am, is a tarot doula. And you're probably going, what is that? We
mhm.
are going to explain in this show. And by the way, one of the best parts of getting lost is finding something you never thought you needed.
I love that. Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. I mean, somebody I love says we're all here because we're not all there. Um,
Ain't that the truth?
so you came across us because maybe there was an aching in your gut. Maybe there was a calling in your soul. Maybe there was a beeping alarm clock that just keeps going off and it's telling you that something needs to change. And there's a shift that needs to happen, and who the hell knows what it is and how to do it. And many of us are having the same feeling. You are definitely not alone. Um, I happen to use tarot as part of my way to navigate that shift and to help other people to navigate it. And, you know, tarot of the past, traditional tarot has been kind of like, like let me tell you your future kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like an oracle. Like let me tell you what to do. And there's a lot of new tarot readers, I'm one of them, who are really embracing a new kind of tarot that is tarot to help you find your own answers and your way back to your own wisdom.
And being your own guru. That's what this is about. And what I love about Laura, and I've been to a lot of tarot people, and she is the only one that I've ever come across that does it in a way that she's authentic, she's organic, she spills her heart out, and her issues she is going through just like we all are. But it's such a great tool the way you use it. It's a tool that you help to find things that we probably already know, and we just don't know how to unwrap them.
Yeah. Yeah, most of us at some point in our lives stopped trusting our guts. And we started looking outside to various teachers or gurus or experts. And there were experts in school that we called professors, and there were politicians, and there were priests, and whoever was that person that you thought had the answers. And then at a certain point, you started questioning even that. And then it became really confusing because if you can't trust your own gut and you can't trust that stuff out there either, where's your compass?
And then there came TikTok. Oh my goodness, there are millions, and I do an astrology podcast as well. And the reason I wanted to do that one and this is to really bring it to reality, because manifesting $1 million, if everybody could do what TikTok says to do, everybody would be millionaires.
Ain't
Think
that
about
the
it.
truth? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if you're a bit confused by your social media gurus and you're just feeling a bit lost, welcome. We're really glad you're here. We're not here to give you answers, but we are here to offer tribe and some tools and throw some tarot cards along the way.
I love it. I'm excited about this because it's all about, and I think you found it, you feel this pull. in the universe, not just for who are you, what are you doing here, but you know that you need to offer whatever gifts you have to help everyone, and that's what this is about. And in this first episode, we are gonna pull I'm not. But our the doula here, is going to pull a card for the collective, and I love what you call this. It's tarot for rebirthing yourself. That is the
Mm,
mantra of this show.
yeah. Yeah, let me just go into that a little bit. So I used to be a birth doula and for many years, and I was drawn to that because I was interested in birth, but also because I didn't want a position where there were lots of rules around what I was supposed to do. I could have become a midwife or an OBGYN, but the doula space felt right for me because I just wanted to be able to show up as myself with all of my mess and look a woman in the eyes in the middle of a birth and go, I, I trust in your process. I love
Mm.
you. I see you. This is hard. We're going to breathe through this one together. And, as someone who's always been a bit of a rule breaker and not a rule follower, that worked for me. And, in the same way that as a birth doula, I couldn't birth the baby for you, but I could hold your hand and believe in you as you walked your own birth journey. As a tarot doula, I can't make your decisions for you, and I can't even tell you what the truth is, in inverted commas. But what I can do with the help of my cards is say, I trust your process. What does this one mean to you? This is here. I'm going to throw out some ideas about this card. What does it mean to you? And I use a lot of meditation. I take people inside using somatic stuff, which means getting in your body. I use Byron Katie stuff, if that means anything to you. I use internal family systems, if that means anything to you. But I use a lot of tools that are all designed to essentially take you inside, work through all the garbage that is in between you and your own intuition so that you can really land in a place that feels actually true to you, not somebody outside telling you what to do.
And I have to add something because the thing about Laura is she's extremely humble, and, I'm gonna toot her own horn because if you've been on any of those millions of TikTokers and you wonder how many of these people are legit, Laura has been educated at Oxford University. This is a woman who went from going to be she was gonna be a psych you were a psych major. She knows that part of it, is what I'm saying, and it wasn't for her because being a rule breaker, which I love, she also felt it wasn't right for her, but she's got the training of that to add to it, so I think there's a legitimacy about you, and along with the organic and the authenticity of you that I think is just breaks through all those other barriers, and I love that TikTok is on it. I just wanna make sure that people have a place to go where it's very real and authentic, and this stuff works. It cuts through, and I'm not gonna say it's easy. You can't just
Mm.
get $1,000,000 by visualizing it, sorry, but you
Yeah,
can
I
get
mean,
who your true self is.
we can. And, I think one of the things we're going to explore in this show is when we're searching for that $1,000,000 or that perfect partner or whatever it is that we think is going to make us okay, what we're actually searching for is something inside of us anyway. And it's very easy to say that. It can sound pretty glib. Honestly, it can sound like a platitude. And also, my experience in my own life and watching other people around me is that it's true. And, one of the things that, again, traditional tarot did a lot was, okay, we're going to do a reading on when you're going to meet the one,
Mm.
or we're going to do a reading on how you're going to crush it in your next job or whatever it is. And I'm not saying you're not going to meet an amazing human who will love you. And I'm not saying you can't have a really fulfilling career. I want both of those things for you, as I do for myself. But what tarot can do is so much bigger than that. What it can do is help you to meet yourself in such a way that the next time you're so agitated that you're crawling out of your own skin and you're texting that person that you know is no good for you at 2 in the morning because you're just out of your mind with
Been there, done
anxiety
that.
or right, me too. Um, Next time that happens, you're going to have more tools to draw on, more tribe to draw on, and ways of really returning to something that feels like your core, that feels like your true self. And so we're not trying to take the good stuff away, but we're trying to make it more grounded in reality and in who we are as people.
And we're doing this because we are in such a time when, to me, it's pertinent that we help as many people as we can in our own mess sharing and the tools I'm learning as you're watching this, I'm learning too, and have used many, many tools trying to find things. And it is a journey. It is an ongoing journey. But it's the one biggest thing I have learned is to enjoy every part of it, and when I say enjoy, when the hits the fan, go with it. You might not be happy, but that's part of it, and you'll learn more about that later on. I won't go into depth because this is the first episode, but, I'm really excited because I do believe I've talked Laura into, she doesn't know it yet, into doing, a collective card reading and a meditation for each episode.
Yes, amazing. Let's
So,
do it. Well,
alright.
on that note, why don't we throw a couple of cards? And I'm just going to preface this by saying if this does not resonate for you, throw it out the door. You can always take what you like and leave the rest. But what we're doing here is just um, giving an offering of something that if it strikes you as helpful, it's there. So the question here is, you know, what is, how can we help the collective? What is needed from us at this time?
Love it.
And I'm feeling called to pull two. Okay.
Love it.
Oh, holy shit. Okay. We have Knight of Wands
Okay.
and dun 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 the Devil. All right.
Whoa. Now, by the way, Laura is using a deck called the Fountain deck, which is a beautiful modern tarot. The artwork is fantastic.
Yes, yes. I use the Fountain Tarot. It's amazing. You'll hear lots about it. And it's just gorgeous. So, all right. So the Knight of Wands, you know, if you have ever been to a yoga class or Tai Chi or Qigong, or you've just listened to a meditation, you've probably heard people talk about energy in the body.
Mhm.
And it's something that us in the West are sort of only just really tuning into. But for many, many years, you know, the East has been a bit more aware of it, and they've used words like chi and prana and shakti. And all it means is it's the life force within you that became you at conception and will be there until you're gone. And then it will, I don't know, go back to the stars or somewhere, I'm not sure. And it's not your body, it's not your blood, it's not your brain, it's not your emotions, it's not your thoughts. It is the spirit that is you. And it flows through you in ways that are mysterious and miraculous. And we all have a sort of inner pilot light that, you know, there are things that make it blossom and burn brighter, and there are things that dim it out. And maybe we're aware of those things, and maybe we're still a bit in the dark about what those things are, and we're kind of ignoring our energy. But we all know when we've got energy and when we haven't. And, you know, I'll give you a classic example. Like, you know, you're having a really bad day, you feel super sluggish, and you can't even get off the couch. And there are pizza boxes all over your house, and it's just a mess. And then you get a text from that guy, that girl who just gives you the flutters. And you and they're like, "Hey, can I come over?" And you suddenly just jump off the couch and you have all of the energy in the world and you frantically clean. What was that? You know, you didn't add any food to your system, you didn't do anything particular, but one minute you had no energy and the next you were all energy. And that, my friend, is your Shakti, your Wands energy. And um, we're going to go into this a lot in future episodes, but the 2 through the 10 of Wands are all of the ways that we mess with that energy. We squander it. We try and people please.
Hmm.
We get confused about who we are, and we um, bend over backwards to be something we're not.
We wear
We
masks. We wear
yeah.
masks for every different problem or situation, I should say. Work mask, family
Hmm.
mask, lover mask, whatever that mask is. And none of it, 90% of the time, is really who we are.
Hmm. Yeah. And we deplete our energy. And sometimes it's, obvious stuff like burning the candle at both ends and snorting a bunch of cocaine. And sometimes it's a bit more subtle. Um, but the truth is, if you feel knackered all the time, like many of us do, then there's something going on with your energy. So, when we get to the 10 of wands, we're really at a low with this. And then when we get to the page, we start being willing to really tune into that inner pilot light and start asking the basic question of, what am I doing that dims this?
Mm,
Am I am i getting my energy sucked by a codependent relationship that isn't serving me?
mhm.
Am I getting my energy sucked by partying too much, by working too much, by traveling too much? Am I just not being true to myself? Like, we start to just become willing to just ask that question and to really start paying attention moment to moment.
Mm. And to I think a lot of it for so many of us, I know for me, it's so much easier to go, go, go instead of face, face, face and be still
Mm-hmm.
and quiet. And, that's when you have to get to doing the work. But
Mm.
I promise when you do it each time it's something. It's a
Mm.
journey. Um, but
Yeah.
you come out
And
better at the other end.
right, right. And I mean, it's definitely, we're going to talk a lot on the show about like the courage that it takes to do this work, and the awareness and the kind of constant willingness to bring oneself back, rein oneself in and go, okay, sweetheart, like, you're doing great, but like, what needs to shift here?
Mhm.
Um, and that, the card that we pulled here, the first card was the Knight of Wands. So in the page, we've become willing to start noticing that moment to moment, like, where's my energy at? What's dimming it? What's not dimming it? What's helpful? What's not? In the Knight of Wands, we become really willing to do the work of getting really honest with ourselves about all of the stuff we do out there in the world that is not working for us and our energy, and we become willing to start addressing it and changing it.
Well, that's a perfect card for this first show to
Right.
bowl. I mean, for the collective, that's why you found this.
Right. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah, I mean, maybe
wow,
you're not sleeping at night. Maybe your relationships feel really like tight and uncomfortable. Maybe you find yourself stuck in an addiction that you just can't put down. Whatever it is that brought you here, the Knight of Wands says, hey, we can change this behavior. We can
wow,
change this behavior. We can do it differently. And also, it's going to take a lot of tribe around us and new ideas and surrendering to just not really being sure over and over again.
wow, wow. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's our
I'm
first
afraid
card.
to get to the devil card though.
I know. I know. As I pulled it, I had that moment of, oh,
But
geez.
no, and
Okay.
I just want to say something too, and this is to people that are because I have this in circles, people that are very religious, um, and I give a lot of kudos, and I'm very what is the word, respectful of any religion, but this is not how do I put it? It's not blasphemy what we're doing. It's not. It's very spiritual and very godlike. So I just wanted to add that in.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. I mean, um, this is a space where you can show up, whatever your religion, whatever your creed, whatever your belief system, you are welcome here. Um, if you're a Jesus freak, we love you.
We do.
If you're a goddess warrior, we love you. If you're a
If you're an
tree hugger, we
atheist, we
love
love
you.
you.
If you're an
I mean,
atheist, we love you.
exactly.
Um, so so the devil, a card which sends shivers down many a spine, um, is really a card about. Okay, well, we can start with addiction. It's a card about addiction. It's a card about codependence, but even more broadly than that, the major arcana, we've been on a journey, and by the time we get to the devil, we've done a bunch of work, and we've started to be willing to surrender to the universe, and maybe we have a meditative practice or a prayer practice or something, or some kind of ritual we do. Maybe we are following a particular spiritual path. I don't know. When we hit the devil, we start to notice if some of what we've been doing is building a new form of spiritual ego.
Mm.
So there was in the chariot, we get to a point where we recognize, oh geez, okay, there's a lot of ego going on, and we start to be willing to do some of the inner work. And one of the traps that, I don't know about you, but I fell into big time, was recreating an ego around, oh, now I'm spiritual. And
Hmm.
so instead of judging people for not being pretty enough or having the right job, I would judge you on whether you meditated as long as I did.
Hmm. I think we
Or,
all do that in some form, somehow we do that kind of a thing.
right, right.
So in a way, if you think about it, we're kind of devil's advocate at the moment. See that there?
See what you did there. Um, and so just go within and take a quick look and ask yourself honestly, like, what does my spiritual ego look like? And am I willing to just take a peek at it? And maybe that's not what this card is for you, but that definitely what it was for me. In that temperance card, I'd built up a whole bunch of stuff that I thought I needed in order to be spiritual. And um, hang on, I think I might need to sneeze.
I hate when that happens. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Look at the
Allergies.
light, it'll make you sneeze. For me, the collective, as a collective card, what that's saying to me, my gut, and I could be wrong. It's just what my gut says is, and again, I don't know anything about it, but I feel like from what you just said, the devil is collectively, things like what I was saying, things that are out there that aren't necessarily real help for you, whether it's these
Mm,
videos about manifesting or whether it's the politicians, all of that you see isn't going to be the answer you need,
right, right.
but you're
I love
looking.
that. I love
Mhm.
that. Yeah, I love that. And I'm just going to hold up the card. And if you're listening on the audio, I'm going to describe it for you. So, um, the Devil card, at least in this deck, has two people that are sort of being looked over by a shadowy figure. And the two people on either side of the shadowy figure sort of mirror each other, but they're looking away from each other. Now, in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, um, there's a naked man and a naked woman who are being looked over by the devil, and which is kind of a mirroring of the Lovers card, and we'll get into that in a later episode. Um, but what's important to notice here is this this mirroring. So, one of the things that we do when we're really struggling in life is we project it out there, and we use other people as mirrors to throw the stuff onto the stuff that we don't like about ourselves. So I'm not angry, you're angry. I'm not selfish, you're selfish. I'm not blank, whatever it is, you are. And it's a mechanism of the human brain. Um, Everybody does it. It's called projection. And the devil, whatever you want to call it, the shadow side of each of us, the unconscious, whatever you want to call that thing, loves for us to do that, because what it stops us doing is going within to really look at ourselves and just lovingly look at the garbage that's accumulated.
Mm.
And as long as it can keep us projecting out there, and it can be onto an individual, or we can project onto an entire group of people. This group of people are blah, nationalism, sexism, racism, all of that stuff. Um, as long as we're focusing out there, we are not going in and we're not finding the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And so all the devil means is the thing that is making you look out there and blame that thing out there and stay from your own truth. So again, it could be an addiction that's getting in your way. It could be a codependent relationship. It could be anything, any obstacle, the natural mechanism of the human mind that we call projection that is stopping you from finding your own truth. And so to remove the devil, it doesn't take an exorcism. It simply takes um, empathy and courage and a shit ton of love to really work through the shame that all of us have about, if I look at this piece of me, I know I won't be lovable,
Mm.
and to give us the courage to do that work.
Mm-hmm. And no matter what, you
Mm.
are lovable. That's what's so incredibly beautiful. Um, and in another episode, I will have to talk about a near death experience that this was just brought out, this love that we have all these issues and none of it matters because you're loved no matter what, no matter what. And this space here is to help you find your love through our love.
Yeah, yeah. And again, that can sound glib, but one of the things that we'll do on this show is we will share some of our own stories. Um, some of the stuff that, I like to say that our superpower comes from our greatest wound.
Mhm.
And one of the things that I did for many years was I was a pathological liar. And I would just tell you any story that I thought would get you to like me.
Mhm.
And one of my superpowers today is I tell the truth, and the truth that other people are like, ooh, you can't say that.
Mhm. Yep.
And I do that because if I can expose how the ways that I'm angry, then maybe you will have the courage to look at your anger. And if I can explore the ways and talk about the ways that I have hurt other people, maybe you'll have the courage to do that. And if I can talk openly about all of the ways that I am not a perfect mother or a perfect partner or whatever it is, then maybe you'll have the courage to do it too.
Yeah, I love this. I love this. I love it, love it,
Mm.
love it. And
Yeah,
so,
the devil doesn't have to be scary.
no, and there's no blasphemy, there's nothing like that. So, and one of these episodes, I'm sure we'll pull the death card. I'm not afraid of that anymore either. Just having been working with Laura, so I'm excited about that. I actually think this is that is a perfect. Those two cards are so perfect for what we're doing for this first episode.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And I think
Agreed.
I hope that you subscribe, join, listen, tell your friends, and more importantly, whatever it is that you need to get to your loving self, do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
we're
we'll
here
close
to
out
love
each
each other into
episode, right?
submission. Say that
I'm
again?
sorry. No, you go ahead.
I said we're here to love each other into submission. That just came to me.
I
What that
absolutely
means.
love that. I think it's beautiful. You know why I think it's beautiful is because the issue that most humans have is we control everything instead of be submissive to love. Wow.
Mm.
What a concept. That's beautiful. I was just thinking that every episode we close with a meditation. What do you think?
Yes, yes, let's do that. So, obviously, if you're driving or operating heavy machinery, please don't do this until later, but you can come back and do it at bedtime. If you are somewhere where you can close your eyes and get cozy, then do so.
You can always come back to this episode, by the way. And before we do this, should we do a journal prompt or do it after?
I would say let's let people go in and contact their own wisdom, and then we can throw out the journal.
Sounds good. I love it.
Okay, okay. So, if it's available to you, close your eyes. This is going to be short. And just take a really good deep breath, the deepest breath you've taken all day. And if your breathing is restricted, just know that we love you, and, take as deep a breath as you can. And feel whatever you're sitting on or standing on. And just do a check-in with your body. Can you feel what it feels like inside your hands? Take your awareness inside your hands. Maybe breathe gently. Imagine breathing into your hands, sending them some love with your breath. And then check in with your heart space. Notice, can you feel it? Does it feel numb? Or can you feel something there? Does it feel heavy? Does it feel tight? Does it feel light? Does it feel yummy? Does it feel hard? And whatever you find there is totally fine. Just breathing and sending some love with your breath into your heart space. If it feels good, you can put a hand there. And then imagine yourself standing under a waterfall, and the water is falling over your head, your shoulders, down your torso, down your legs, and into the floor. Of your head, shoulders, down your torso, down your legs, and into the floor. Head, shoulders, torso, legs, into the floor. And as you sit here connected to whatever you feel connected to, or maybe you still feel disconnected, maybe you're a little confused, maybe your mind is distracting you, it's all fine. But as you sit here, just I think I'm going to bring the journal prompt in now. Just going to ask you, why are you here? What brought you here? And, by here, I sort of mean the podcast, but I also mean what brought you to this moment in your life. What were the pains and the pleasures and the troubles and the obstacles and the amazing coincidences that brought you to this moment? And I'm going to ask you, you can go back, we'll put this in the show notes too, but when you start to write, see if you can include in the writing 5 reasons why you're grateful that you've been taken to this spot right here. Even if it feels painful, even if you're not sure, even if you feel lost or confused or alone, what are 5 reasons why you can be grateful that you're here in this place, in this universe, in this moment? And if that feels too hard, just know that we're really grateful you're here. We know you're here for a reason. You're here because there's a shift wanting to happen inside you. Just as the caterpillar comes to be a butterfly by becoming DNA soup, we are all becoming DNA soup. So if it feels good, again, maybe place a hand over your belly or your heart. Give yourself a squeeze if you can. Send yourself some love. Take 1 or 2 more really deep breaths. And whenever you're ready, come back to the room.
Laura, that was wonderful. And I am so excited to share what happens with the journaling.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you want to share yours with us, please do connect with us. We love questions, comments, problems, Rants.
Whatever it is, we can take it. Thank you, Laura, for that wonderful, wonderful meditation. And I'm feeling all kind of wonderful right now. um, Sending lots of love and definitely white light everywhere from my soul. And I know from Laura's to yours.